Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are taking two newly released eyeshadow palettes, an affordable and a high-end, and we're going to let them battle it out today. So, as you can tell by the title, we're putting the NATASHA DENONA Sunrise palette up against the BH Stellar Collision palette. And they are not dupe palettes by any means, so that is not the point of this video. But actually what happened was the other day my girlfriend came over and I had an eye look, almost this exact eye look on, and she thought that I had used the Sunrise palette, and she's like, oh, is that the new Sunrise palette? And I was like, no, it's the BH palette. And she's like, what? That looks exactly like NATASHA DENONA. So she's like, that's a video you need to do. You should do the two palettes side by side. And here we are. I was like, that's a really good idea. So that is what I did today. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how this goes instead, because I could have done, I just wanted to do something different. I was going to just review each palette in separate videos, but I thought this would be kind of fun to do instead. So let me know what you think about this type of video. And if you like that, then I can do maybe some more new release face-offs between affordable and high-end brands. Or like high-end and high-end, affordable, but like putting two new releases together and seeing which one is better. So let me know what you guys think about that type of video. If you guys are new here, hi, I'm Jamie. I do beauty videos. I usually do 2 to 3 times a week, but here's an exciting little thing. I am going to be, and I'm nervous to tell you this in case I fail miserably at it, but I am going to be attempting to do 5 videos a week for the next month just to see if I can. Because, you know, I've been wanting to do 5 uploads a week, but it has been very challenging for me to get it together to be able to do that. So I think I've got a plan. So we're going to try doing 5 videos a week. So let's see how that goes. And I am going to be doing a live video coming up as well, and a Q&A. So if you have any questions for me, anything you want to know, make sure you leave them in the comments on any of my videos, because I check all of my comments. I read them all and I respond to everybody. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know and I will add them to my list. And I think that's all I need to talk about before we get into this video. Oh, and before we get into the video, I just want you guys to pause it and look at my eyes and tell me if you can tell which side is BH and which one is NATASHA DENONA. Can you tell? One eye look, 2 eye looks. So we're going to jump into the video. If you guys want to see these two eyeshadow palettes battle it out, see me create this look, and hear my thoughts, then keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so here she is. This is the box that it came in. It's just like this fiery red-orange color. It is made of like a plastic. You open it up and there's this beautiful mirror, and here is the palette. I'm going to insert swatches of the palette so that you guys can see it. We have the BH Stellar Collision palette, and this one, when you open it up, it has a mirror. It's quite a bit smaller. And inside, these are the colors. The entire palette is baked shimmer shadows. Some of them are glittery and some of them are just shimmers. It says it's a 17 color baked eyeshadow and highlight palette. So some of these can be used as highlights and some, but I personally would use them all for shadows, not really highlights. But if you were traveling, like this color here, you could use this as a highlight. I am going to insert swatches of this palette as well so you can see. Now obviously these palettes are not dupes. That is not the point of this video. They're very, very different palettes. Obviously this one has mattes and shimmers in it, and this one is just straight shimmers. But I feel like I can create a look really, really similar with this palette and one of my other BH palettes. Like, let's just say you have a bunch of BH palettes and you'd love to buy the Natasha Denona palette, but you don't have the money, or you're just like, I have all these other palettes. I wanted to do this so I could show you guys that you can actually get the look of this palette from using BH palettes that you may already have. So typically I don't love palettes like this, mostly because I like to be able to create my look from one palette. I don't like to dip into other palettes, but like I said, I think that there are dupe shades in this palette for the Natasha Denona. It's not a dupe palette, but some of the shades are dupes. So I thought what I would do is just create a look using BH shadows, because I know a lot of you guys are BH fans, because I do a lot of BH reviews, and I know that's why you guys have come to, know me and know my channel because of those reviews. So I thought, do I look orange? Why do I look so orange? I don't know why. I look like an Oompa Loompa in my monitor. Anyway, so I just figured that I would do this because maybe it'll be helpful. All right, so I'm going to be using different brushes and everything too, so that we don't mix. The first thing I'm going to do is prime my lids. I'm going in with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. And I decided to just put foundation on and nothing else, just in case we have a messy fallout situation. I don't know if we will, but we're gonna find out. All right, so I'm gonna start by taking this shade here called Clove, and I'm using this kind of flat brush. What is it called? It's a large shadow brush. This is from Rizika Cosmetics. Let's do Natasha on this side. Well, these shadows are beautiful. I mean, that shadow, it's very pigmented. I like. So now I'm going to actually take the BH It's My Ray Ray palette, and I am going to take this shade here called Flare. And it is very similar, and I am going to do the same thing. And for this, I'm using my favorite Morphe brush that I got in my All I Want collection. This one's a little bit more red in tone, but I feel like if I build it up, maybe I can get it deeper. I'm actually mixing a little bit of cacao in to deepen it up so it's not so red. So it has a little bit more of a deeper tone, like the other one. And that actually is working. It's actually good, close enough, I think. But what's killing me is that the pigment is just as rich and, that's the wrong brush. It's just as rich and just as pigmented as the Natasha. Those look really both equally as pigmented, don't you think? All right, so next what I'm gonna do is go into my color switch. Here she is. And I am just going to wipe off my brush. I am going to take this shade called Morgan, and I am going to just stamp it over top of Clove. And then I'm going to bring it all the way in my crease. This shade, when you build it up, is very peachy. So the corresponding shade, I think, in this palette would be this one, and it's called Brick, and I don't think it's not as peachy, but we're gonna make it work. It's more of a deeper brown. We're not gonna layer it as hard so that we can try to keep it on the lighter side. All right, so next I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush and I'm going to blend both shades together. Well, those blended freaking beautifully, didn't they? And now I'm going to take another fluffy brush and do the same thing on this side. Okay, so next we're going to cut the crease. And I'm just going to use the same Urban Decay primer potion to do this. And we're going to start with the ND side. Oh, hi, it's me from the future. So you might be asking yourself why I'm popping in the middle of this tutorial / review. And that is because when I was editing this video, I don't know what happened, but the portion of the video where I apply my lid shades is like gone. It's missing. I don't know where it went. It just didn't transfer over, and then I wiped the card. So this is 2 days later. And I have to redo this part, but it's like the most important part where I'm using both of the palettes. So I actually just redid my eye makeup. I did the exact same thing you just saw. Everything on my face is exactly what it was. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the lid shades. We're just going to pick right up where we left off because they are the most important in this whole look. And then when you see the final look, it's going to be already the footage that I already shot. I'm sorry about that, guys. I just didn't want to reshoot the entire video because it is so much work and I'm just missing this small clip. So let's do this. Okay, so for the Natasha side, I'm going to be taking the shade Laurel, which is this shade right here. And I am taking it on a Luxie concealer brush. And I'm just going to pack that onto the lid. And because I already filmed this little portion of the program, I already know what these shadows look like. So I'm just applying that kind of 3/4 of the way. I just want to make sure that all of the base is covered. And then I'm going to take my Alamar Cosmetics brush, and in the Galaxy palette, I'm going to be taking this shade right here. And again, these have no name, which is unfortunate. Okay, now going back to NATASHA DENONA, we are going to take this color here called Phlox, and I'm literally just flipping this brush over. And this is a kind of a red cranberry type of a shade. And I'm just going to go over the space that we left there, kind of between the crease color and that Laurel color. And I'm just going to lightly kind of fade it in to Laurel so that it all looks seamless. And then for the BH side, I'm going to be taking this color right here. And I'm going to pop that in the middle too. Like, look how pigmented these are. I think the BH ones are more pigmented, to be honest, than the Natasha. That looks identical. Does it not? It blows my mind every time. Like, it just does. These BH shadows are so freaking good, you guys. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and do my lower lash line. Take this BH brush, and I'm just using the same shades that I did on the crease. I'm going to be using Clove, and I'm going to be using Morgan. So I'm just going to use those to smoke out my lower lash line. So I'm going to start with Clove. And I'm just connecting. And I'm just wiping the brush off with my color switch. And then I'm going to go into Morgan. And I'm just going to buff that out. and drag Morgan in. With this other BH pencil brush, I am going to do the same thing with Flare and Brick. So I'm starting with Flare, and I'm doing the same thing. I don't know why my camera keeps zooming in and out. It's been doing that for a lot of videos, and it's irritating me. Alright, so now I'm going in with Brick, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just buffing this out and dragging it in. For my inner corner, I'm going to be taking this shade called Agate, and I'm going to pop that right in here. And then I'm going to color switch my brush. I'm going to just use the same one. I always use this brush, but I'm flipping over the other side anyway. And I'm going to take this shade right here. And as you can see, it is the same shade as Agate. And then I'm going to pop it in. See? Same. Oh boy. Unreal. Alright, so I'm going to leave it right here. And as you can see, I already did the majority of my face makeup. In the last clip, you didn't see that. But we're going to cut to the finished makeup look now, which was the other day, and finish up the video. So I will see you in a minute. Okay, guys, so this is the finished look. I actually did not put lashes on because I didn't want anything to block the shadow, so I just kind of left it as is, which normally I would put on lashes with this, but I used the new Stellar Lash Mascara that actually was released with this palette from BH, and I actually really like the mascara. Just a total side note, the wand is a dupe for the Too Faced Better Than Sex. It looks just like it, and the mascara performs very similarly as well. I will say the one thing that I really like about this mascara is that you can put on 1,000 coats and your lashes still feel very flexible, and you know, you can, and they're very soft still, like they're not crunchy or crusty or stiff, so you can literally put like 5,000 coats like over and over and over again, and it will just brush on through like super easy. And I haven't noticed any flaking, and I haven't noticed any transfer at all, and I've used it 3 times now. So I am really liking that as well. And that is part of the launch, like I said, of this palette. So I figured I would just mention that as well. So what is on my face right now? I put on the Dermalogica Age Smart Primer, as I always do, and the Tatcha Silk Canvas. Those are pretty standard. If you guys watch my videos, that's what I typically use to prime my face. For foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, which I'm giving another shot because I did a video wear testing this, and it didn't go well, and I didn't like it. But everyone says how much they love it, so I thought maybe I'll give it another chance. And so far I've been trying it for like 3 days, and I actually am having a really good experience with it this time, which is crazy. And it looks really great. I'm like really liking it. So the only thing I will say that I don't like about this is it's very, very heavily scented, like just like the Huda foundation, where it's like heavy perfume, and I hate that. But if I don't pay attention to that, right now I like it. I like the finish, and it's wearing a lot better on me than it did in my wear test. So sometimes, you know, with foundations, it's like the time of year. Like your skin just might not like that foundation that time of year, whatever the weather is, and then you try it in another season and your skin does really well with it. So, you know, you never know. And that's really why I just decided, I'm fussing with my hair, I'm so sorry. So that's why I just decided to give it another shot. So that's going well. Also, I have the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. And then for powder, I have the Hourglass Veil, and I have the Fenty Beauty Bronzer and Caramel Cutie. These are both minis that I got at the VIB. Well, actually, my friend gave me this, and then I got this at the VIB sale, and both I'm obsessed with. I can't stop. both of them. For blush, I have the Rimmel Maxi Blush in Third Base. And then my highlight is a combination of both of these, which has been for a good solid 2 months. I've been using this Cover FX palette. This highlight right here is just everything in life. And then I've been using the Mother of Dragons palette from Urban Decay, mixing the pink and gold shades together and just kind of popping it just like right on top. And I've been using the bronze and gold mixed together for like my collarbone and my shoulders. So that's what I'm using for that. For lips, I have the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Lip Liner. This one is in Mastermind. You guys, if you watch my videos for any length of time, you know that Matte's It is my ride or die jam. This one is a very close dupe to the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. It's a very similar color. I forgot how much I love this color because I ran out of it, and I've been just going back and forth between Matte and Call, which is more of like a brownie nude, and Matte's It, which is more of like a mauve plum undertone nude. And this one is more of a peachy pink undertone nude, and I'm here for it. I love it so much. And the lipstick is this Youngblood Mineral Lipstick in Barely Nude. I can't get enough of these Youngblood lipsticks. I've been wearing them all over Instagram. They sent me 3 nude lipsticks, and I keep rotating between them. I mix them. These have been my go-to nude lipsticks right now. I am going to do a full guide to my favorite nude lip products, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be breaking down my favorite lip liners, lipsticks, lip glosses, liquid lips, all nudes, because you guys, I only wear nude lips. Like, let's be real. In like 99% of my photos and pictures, I'm in a nude lip, and in life, 100% I'm in a nude lip. It's very rare that you'll catch me in a deeper lip color. It's just where I feel comfortable. So I thought maybe I will do a nude lip guide, and in light of the Jaclyn Hill nude lip drama, I thought, I don't even want to touch that situation because the whole thing disgusts me, which is a whole nother story, and not Jaclyn. The beauty community, I'm just grossed out by. But I just figured, nude lips is something that, like, I personally am obsessed with. I have 5,000 nude lip products. So I'm going to give you a little nude lip guide. So again, stay tuned for that. In terms of the palettes, let's talk about the real thing, the real tea here. The Natasha Denona palette. Okay, so this was my first time trying Natasha Denona shadows. When I look at this palette, it makes me happy. It's gorgeous. I love it. Okay, this being only $65 makes me even more happy because there's no way in hell I'd ever spend $130 on an eyeshadow palette. It's just, I'm a cheap bitch. What do you want? I can't get down with it. Like, can't. Never could. I don't know what those eyeshadows do to make them worth that money, but if they are this formula and I am getting an equal, almost identical look with this formula, come on, girl. $130? No. So $65 is like the most I would ever pay for a palette, and the only reason that I would even pay that is because this is usually $130. So I did break down and buy this because I wanted to know what the hype was, and $65 was a more attainable price tag. So, but like, doing these two looks side by side, honestly, you guys, like, the quality looks identical. The shades look identical. I cannot see a difference in these two eye looks. Like, I feel like between these two, and, again, this palette, it doesn't have matte shades. But if you have this palette floating around, or something with a warm, deep, reddish brown and a peachy light brown, you're good. Because that's what I used to create this. Those are the only mattes that I used, was the two. I feel like this palette is gorgeous. This palette is so freaking pigmented and shimmery and reflective and just so beautiful. I can't with this palette. And it's so affordable, and you know, normally I would never go for an all shimmer palette, and this was sent to me in PR, but if it wasn't sent to me in PR, I would buy this for sure. Like, this is amazing. So, am I happy with this purchase? Yes, because I did want to know. I mean, I wanted to know if the hype was real. Like, I wanted to play with her formula, and like I said, I'm really pleased that she lowered the price point, because like the pan size on those other ones are so big, you know, I just feel like no one's going to get through that much shadow. So this is more reasonable, this is more doable, and I hope she continues to do her palettes like this, because, you know, this makes it much more attainable for more people. So I'm happy with the purchase in that sense, but if you have BH palettes, you don't need this. If you have BH palettes that you can create this look, as you can see, the BH shadows are of equal quality. So I'm going to leave that there for you guys. And, you know, it's personal preference, and whatever, you know, you think that if you want a luxury palette, if that brings you joy and makes you happy, you will not be disappointed in this. You won't. It's gorgeous. But if, you know, you're on a budget and you're like me and you're like, there's no way I'm going to justify $130 on an eyeshadow palette, then I'd say get this, and then use a couple of mattes to, you know, fill in the gaps. But this palette is gorgeous. It's just good. And the fact that these shimmers are equal color payoff, pigment, shimmer, reflective as the NATASHA Denona, I don't know what to say. So that is it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you never miss when I upload. You can follow me on social. I'm on Instagram the most, and also I've been on Twitter quite a bit lately. So make sure you check those out. And don't forget, the Glam Latte Beauty Podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, and CastBox. All of those details will be in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into your